My 20s have gone nothing like I planned them. It feels like while others are getting ahead, I'm falling apart. In many instances, I've been dealt with the circumstance of severe depression, and I believe that truly depression has been the bane of my existence and has contributed greatly to many of the circumstances I am about to talk about with you. I'm making this video in the hopes that it will make others out there who feel similar, think similar, to feel less alone about the hardships they're dealing with, the realities that they're confronted with. I certainly grapple with this a lot. And even though I'm mentally doing better upstairs than I was just a few years ago, I'm still in a dark place sometimes. And standards of comparison is a major reason for that. Going on LinkedIn and seeing how far ahead all my friends are in their careers. I go on Facebook and see my friends announcing, the houses that they just made a down payment on. And for the record, I'm 27, by the way. My friends are getting married, they're having children. I'm 27 years old and I live with my mom. I'm 27 years old and I don't have a car. I live in a low-income apartment complex. I don't have my college degree. I've had to take breaks from college twice now. Once for 4 years, and this time yet to be determined. I've been to jail for 5 days. I've been hospitalized 3 times in my 20s. Twice at partial, once at a facility involuntarily. But let's not start the story in the middle. Let's kind of try to keep things as chronological as possible within reason. I doubt I'll stick to that promise over the course of this video because I'm going to be jumping around a bit, just based off how my previous videos have gone. That's just my style. I was in high school at age 21. That's when I graduated high school. And the reason for that is I had a dropout period of 2 years. I also had to repeat the ninth grade due to chronic absence, which was in large part because of bullying and depression. I'm not going to go into those areas right now, but that's the context behind why I graduated high school at age 21. Now, I had a lot of success in my later high school years, I feel like. Sophomore year, I had impeccable attendance. I had straight A pluses. I had hundreds in just about every class. I got elected class president. I won the school poetry out loud competition my junior year. On the mock trial team, we swept our division and made the playoffs for the first time in school team history. Senior year, I partook in 2 major competitions, the Lions Club Youth Speech Competition of Massachusetts and the DECA, Distributive Educational Clubs of America, an organization that gives opportunities to students in high school to become competent in different areas of business. And my category was business finance. So in that latter competition, DECA, I won first place at District 7. I won first place at the State Massachusetts Conference. And then I advanced to the International Career Development Conference, where I also did really well. I didn't win first that time, but I did phenomenal considering it was my first and only year of doing DECA. In the Lions Club contest, I won first place at the club/school level. I won first place at the zone level. I won first place at the regional level. I won first place at the district level. And I qualified and advanced to the state finals as one of 5 state finalists. Bear in mind, this competition began with 900 speakers, and I ended up being announced as a runner-up. So those of us who lost were basically just runner-ups, and we got consolation prizes, and I made a lot of money in that competition. So I came close to getting first in that entire competition too. So it's not like I achieved nothing while I was in high school at that age. I did have some achievements, and I often refer to this time period as my peak because of those achievements. But things started to go downhill from here upon leaving high school. Now I want to talk about my job history because there's not a whole lot there. This isn't going to take a whole long while. I don't have any significant work experience at age 27. I've worked jobs. I've never in my life held a job for a year or longer. The longest job I had was actually during my high school dropout period from around June of 2016 to, or May of 2016, I'm not particularly sure, to like February of 2017. And that's the longest job I had. My most recent job, I was working as a shift lead at a pharmacy retail chain, and I held that job for a similar length of time from May 2024 to January 2025. I've never held a job for a year or longer. And yes, I'm not proud of that. But there's extenuating circumstances that have contributed to that. I have a mental illness for one. I know this now. I didn't know this my entire life. But I was diagnosed with bipolar type 1 disorder with psychotic features. This is an illness that affects approximately 1% of the population. At this age now, moving on, I still don't even have a driver's license. I've been behind the wheel of a car one time, and it was with one of my cousins, and I felt very out of place. And I've had my permit at the time. I haven't had my permit again since then. And it's something I really gotta, get in order to achieve any kind of meaningful success in this world. In this interconnected and interdependent, busy, chaotic world we live in, a driver's license is absolutely a necessity for any degree of success. And so I do have to capitalize on the next opportunity that presents itself. I do have to, it's not really a motivation issue. It's more like, can I become stable enough, mentally health wise, upstairs, to where I could put in the effort and time necessary in order to obtain my driver's license. I have no college degree, and I believe this ties in with my work experience and or lack thereof because of mental health episodes. I entered the University of Massachusetts Amherst at age 21 in 2019, and I attended to fall 2021, got expelled in early 2022 due to a fight that I got in while under the influence of severe mania and psychosis. It wasn't intentional to do that. I'm not like an evil person. I don't actively look to fight people or anything. I'm nonviolent. On my SATs, I literally put that I was a Quaker, my religion, which is the Society of Friends, and they were very progressive for their time and were very ahead in their values for the time period that they were most known being around. So I don't have my college degree. If I did, my earning power would be much higher. But I actually believe that the driver's license is even more important than that. So after I got expelled, I took a 4-year break from university. The last time I had gone was 2021. I didn't return to college till fall 2025. And this semester, I made progress towards my degree, but another mental health episode happened. This time, it wasn't a 6-month-long manic episode with psychosis, but I did have an acute mixed episode, a hypomanic episode, which was a catalyst for my downfall once again. So as a result of this hypomanic episode, I'm now in a partial hospital program again, my 3rd time in my life, my 4th time being hospitalized in my life for mental health issues. And I'm really just trying to be diligent and committed in my recovery and treatment right now. That's my number one priority, because if I'm not up to par up here, I'm not going to be up to par with literally anything. I'm 27 years old, and I live with my mom. in large part because of the things that I've already discussed, but also because I love my mom. She hasn't been in the best of health, and it's important for me to be around her while she's still here. You know, and I won't go into her specific health problems, but she's 48 years old and has a myriad of health issues. And I know it's frowned upon to live with your parents past the age of 18, but an increasing number of people are doing that, especially with Gen Z, just because the costs are so high out there. Housing costs, food costs, transportation costs, costs of everything, so high. And living with your parents does give you opportunities to try and save more in some instances, not all. But in my case, I actually don't have a savings. I have none. There's been a few times in my 20s where I have had a savings, but that's not the case at the present moment. I literally have nada, nothing. I think the most I had saved up at any time was around 13 or 14,000 ish. And of course, I had that severe manic episode and plummeted my bank account. I think that may have actually been after that, but because I had about 7,000 that I, diminished during my manic episode. And I think when I had 14,000, I was just irresponsible fiscally with my money, which is inappropriate given my impecunious financial background, having come from poverty. Money is important to me. I want to live a good life. I want to be able to provide for my family, those that I care about. So now I want to conclude by addressing those who find themselves in a similar situation. No significant job experience, no college degree, living with parents or guardians, maybe as far as not even having a driver's license, not having a savings, people who took a while to finish high school or finish college. To all of you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that we are going to persist through this. We need to be resilient. We need to be diligent and committed towards our future goals. We can get out of this situation. The situation is incredibly ephemeral. It's so incredibly short lasting. It's temporary in the grand scheme of things. Out in this universe, we are so insignificant when you look at things from that perspective. We're just like a tablespoon of water from the ocean. That's probably even more than what we are in the universe. My point here is I want to draw attention to this crisis of costs, to the issue of mental health and how that's a contributing factor to things, and hopefully create a more understanding, accepting world where people are more insightful about these type of topics and issues. I want to thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you are new here. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Love, light, and tranquility to all.